What is up, my friends? Time for another psychology video. This time the topic will be liking, the need to be liked and desire to be liked. Weapons of Influence by the author Robert and psychologist Robert Cialdini. Chapter 5. So the Tupperware party uses reciprocity, commitment, and social proof to make its sales. The hostess has a commission and people always feel obliged to buy something on an event like that. That is why they took off so successfully. If salespeople call you, they usually can use a your friend suggested I call because you've been referred to by a friend. It gives you a lot of social proof. So it's important that people like you to advance in life. If they don't like you, you're going to have a hard time. Do you want to be right or do you want to eat? So they don't like you in a sleazy, nice kind of bad way, but in a more symbiotic, trustful way. So you have the halo effect. Attractive people are perceived as more intelligent, more trustworthy. Similar people have an advantage. We like them more because they're similar, and flattery also has advantages. However, it depends if it's a low status person or a high status person in the context. The overusage of the flattery, for example, if we've practiced 10,000 hours playing guitar and somebody compliments us, we'll be very happy. But if we're born attractive and handsome, then it might start working on our nerves because we know it's not that genuine. So we also take flattery of what we generally desire to believe. So, for example, if I like this girl and then my friend says, yeah, she likes you, by the way, haha, you're going to want to believe it, even if it's not true. So, a group of boys goes off to camp. They're split up into two groups. One calls themselves the Eagles, the others the Rattlers. There are treasure hunts, athletic contests. After a while, of course, cabins are raided and banners are burned. Classic tribal warfare. Now, the researchers, they experiment with this and eventually they want to try to make them work together. So they design this stuck truck in the mud thing and a lack of water supplies. So basically, both groups of boys need to do a joint effort towards a common goals, and they bridged the rift. So cooperation leads to greater liking and greater group success, which is also why human beings kind of rule the world, because cooperation is really rewarded and it leads to effects that are not able to do it on your own or with a small group. So it's like the jigsaw road, each gets a piece. So familiarity is good for greater liking, but of course it can backfire. You have, for example, the good cop, bad cop dynamic, and the good cop seems so trustworthy, and you really want to tell the story because of the asshole cop who's threatening you, intimidating you, blah, blah, blah. It's a classic one. For example, there are threats and dominance from the bad cop, and then the contrast with the good cop is he gives me a cup of coffee, I have a friend, I can tell him a story. Like war messengers, bring good news, you're rewarded with a bag of gold, bring bad news, and some of them are just executed or beaten. It's not fair, but people love to associate, and the company we keep makes you guilty by association. So, in a credit card versus cash situation, if you like the waiter, you're gonna tip more, you're gonna tip bigger. Oh yeah, if you have cash, if you pay by credit card instead of cash, you're gonna spend more, tip bigger, because there's a feeling of wealth and it easily goes. So advertisers like to be associated, so do we of course, like to be associated with celebrities or athletes with which we can brag. Does Pavlov ring a bell? If you eat well, you take a greater liking towards the companion and the topics that you speak about. Of course, if it's used as a backward, sleazy, nice guy, I'm paying this girl a dinner in return for physical advantages, it is not. The exploiter will be exploited. So, a good and favorable feeling of eating jointly, and you want to connect yourself to good news, positive feelings to be liked. You don't want to be a Jesus type of figure who truth bombs everybody with bad feelings. In 1994, Andres Escobar, a Colombian soccer player, made an own goal and the Colombians were eliminated. 2 weeks later, he was executed in a restaurant by 2 gunmen who shot him 12 times. No matter how well you're prepared, if there's an assassination plot against you, you probably won't survive because you'll be surprised. So how do we explain wild sport riots? Well, sports are serious, intense, and highly personal. They unleash a primal tribal energy, almost a divine-like group feeling. It's, of course, a lot has to do with hormones, and we are diminished by a hometown defeat and enhanced by a hometown victory. Whoever you root for represents you, and we want to be connected with success and public prestige. So we do distance ourselves from like the sick, broken, losers, diseased people. We don't want to be associated with them. For example, if my team lost, I will say, they motherfuckers threw away our chance on victory. Like the rock music groupie changes sexual favors for the right to be associated with the artist or the athlete. But it's low personal self-worth because you seek prestige from association with others' attainments and achievements. So tragic view that accomplishments and achievements are derived from external factors and not from inside the self leads to a problematic life path. Now, so what is the defense against liking tactics? Well, we can be aware that physical attractiveness can easily fuck us over. Familiarity and association are things to be aware of. Once we notice that we like somebody, we should stop and ask ourselves several questions. What is this truly about? Is his character, his results, his effort? But card dealing Dan has fed us, he has made us smile, he has complimented us, and he has cooperated us against his boss. I mean, dealing Dan is an amazing salesman, right? Well, just step back, mentally separate yourself from the requester and the request. So if you want to buy a card, then just get yourself loose from the salesman and think about it decently. So, summary. We have to be aware for physical attractiveness and the halo effect. Now, to be persuasive in getting what they want, people have to be liked. And to be successful in changing other people's attitudes, you also have to be liked first. You have to be liked first, you have to entertain them, or you get nothing done. So we can do this by similarity, praise, although this can truly backfire, mutual and successful cooperation, and positive associations. These things are all tips and tricks on how to deal with being liked. So this was chapter 5 in Robert Cialdini's Weapons of Influence. Hope to learn something and see you next time.